Hello, good morning and welcome to the allotment. It's a bit of a cloudy day at the moment, although we are promised some nice sunshine later today and another heat wave on the way. So I've come down to get on with some jobs, and the first one is one that I wasn't expecting to do. Turn the camera around, come in the polytunnel, turn the camera around. So this tray of cells had a number of brassicas in, which have already been planted out and are growing away well. But when we started the brassicas, we also started, turn that around, some celerac. And that celerac has been really slow to germinate. But now we've got 5, possibly 6 plants there. Put 2 or 3 in each cell. So the first cell's got a couple in, and the last cell along has got a couple in, but one's very weak. But we've got a number of plants there, and what I've decided to do is to plant these out. Like I said, they've just been left in the polytunnel. After I planted out the brassicas that were in the cells, I just left that in the polytunnel, and it's been watered amongst everything else, but generally just been left. If you remember, Jean took the peas out from here last weekend, and what I'm going to do is use that ground there and plant out the celerac. So I'll put the camera down and I'll just plant that out. Okay, so I've got the celerac, and it's got a bit of bindweed growing here, so I don't want that. Just take this cover off. Generally what I'm down to do today is actually a bit of a tidy up. I haven't got a bag yet, so I'll put that to one side. I'll put that in the bag when I get the bag. Like I say, I'm doing a general tidy up today. A bit of weeding and preparing beds. Okay, so two there. Celerac is something that surprisingly we haven't grown in the past. We've grown celery, haven't grown celery for a few years now though. But we do like stews, casseroles, and celerac is going to be a useful addition to those. Okay, the variety of celerac is called Asterisk. Should be able to remember that. We've still got some peas growing away in this bed. They're the second sowing of peas. They're on the far side of that net. So though I'm not expecting a big crop from those, but we had, if you've seen the previous video with Jean harvesting the peas, that was the final harvest that you saw. We've had more offers, we've gone along, so we've got a good crop of peas, and they're all safely in the freezer now. Okay, so that's the celerac planted in. I'll just grab the watering can and water them. Okay, so like I say, just water these in. The ground is a little bit damp. We had a little bit of rain yesterday. Okay, so that's the celerac planted, and I will drop the cover over. Otherwise I'm sure the pigeons Discover they like celeriac. Okay, so as I said, that's the only planting I've got to do today. What I will be doing though is doing some bed preparation, so it's generally weeding and preparing beds. Okay, I'm back in the polytunnel. I just wanted to show you one of the things I did the other day, and hopefully you can see the swinging shelves are back up and they've got all the shallots on. So if you remember, I took all the shallots up and they're on those shelves to dry. Okay, I keep delaying all my weeding activities, but I'll just show you one of the beds I'm going to weed today. This bed here is a Brassica bed. It's the Calabrese bed. You can see that the weeds seems more at the one end than the other. So this bed's going to be weeded today, and I'll just have a look over the brassicas and make sure that they're all right. I hope there isn't any clubroot in this bed. The reason, let me turn around and face the sun. The reason why I wanted to mention the brassicas is we have successional planting. So although I've got a lot of Calabrese in that bed, Calabrese is one plant where you might want, we do take that off and freeze it, and they're not like the collies where they all come at once. They will spread a little bit in terms of producing the Calabrese that you can use. But things like cauliflower, cabbage, etc., we try and spread out the planting of that. And what I will do is drop in at this point some pictures from back at home where we've got some of the next lot of brassicas started. So they're in the cells at home in the conservatory, growing away, and they'll be ready to come down possibly the end of this week and be planted out. So you've seen in the recent weeks that I've been harvesting some what I would call spring cabbage, and this bed here, I'll just go along this bed. This bed here has got cauliflowers in. So there's two different varieties of cauliflowers, and I would like to think they'll be producing in a month or so, perhaps even sooner than that. This is in the conservatory at home. We've got our next lot of plants started. Hopefully they'll be going in the allotment very soon. As you can see, there's brassicas as well as some more beetroot started. Also have some more brassicas here started, again in the conservatory at home. Okay, in this bed, if I lift up, you can see, hopefully, you can see I've got some kale, I've got some other cabbage, and I've got some lettuce growing in between as well. That was heavier than I thought. And then in this bed we have, this bed we've got this sprouts growing away. Okay, so like I say, we do use successional planting mainly for cabbage, cauliflowers and Calabrese. But then things like sprouts, we have one sowing of those. But we have got two varieties which I didn't mention. One is supposed to be an early variety, one a late variety. So then that spreads out the harvest time. And it is important when you grow into it that you try and use successional planting and make sure that you spread the harvest period over. That way you don't have a glut, or you don't have as much of a glut as you could have if you don't. Okay, so we have up to about 4 sowings of cauliflowers, for example, over the year. So we've got one sowing which will be late in this year, and that won't be harvested till the beginning of next year. So last year, I think it was October time, some went in the polytunnel and we harvested those. We've now got some in the ground, and we've got another lot coming along to be planted out. Whether we do, and then we'll do our late ones again to go in the polytunnel. Okay, so that's just a bit of a note about our successional planting. But like I say, what I've got to do today is one of the more mundane jobs, and that is doing the weeding, which seems to be never ending this year. Okay, so let's get to work on doing a little bit of weeding. Okay, so you can see I've got 2 containers, I've got a bag. That's the waste that will go off site, and this will go in our compost bin. So if I've got weeds like this, which aren't really a problem, they will go on site into our compost bins. But in fact, this bed's quite good because I haven't seen anything to go in the plastic bag yet. So if I get any bindweed or anything like that, then that will go into the bag and be taken off site. So these weeds have really stunted the growth of the calabres at this end of the bed. Anyway, I'm not going to film me doing all the weeding. I'll catch up with you when I've completed this bed. Okay, well, I've managed to get the weeding done in this bed, or the bulk of it, so the plants should grow away nicely now. However, I have realised why there's a difference in the plants at the one end. It wasn't just the weeds. If I turn the camera around now, I can show you. So you can see, hopefully you can see, it's getting quite windy. The plants at the other end of the bed are quite strong, big plants, but down this end they're quite weak. And if I just go in, hopefully you can see there's signs of clubroot. Okay, so the next bed that I've weeded is the onion bed. These are the tough ball onions, and they're pretty much finished. It's the first time we've grown tough ball onions, and if you know anything about them, you grow them from seed, not from sets. We tend to grow them, or in the past we've always grown most of our onions from sets. But I'm being quite pleased with these tough ball onions. I'll certainly grow them again next year, but I'll probably double up the amount, and the other thing I'll do is try and start them a little bit earlier. I started them quite late, so they haven't put much size on them, and they've pretty much come to the end of their growing now. So it's a shame because they look nice onions, nice shape, but not got much size on them. So lesson learned for next year: twice the amount, and probably start them a month, 6 weeks earlier than I started them this year. Another crop I want to check is the sweet corn, and that seems to be growing away quite nicely. Nice, strong, healthy plants, and I think it's getting a bit helped by getting some reflected light from the polytunnel. So it's in a bed right against the polytunnel, and like I say, it's growing away quite nicely, nice and strong, and the pumpkins and squashes that are planted in between are also growing away well. So hopefully we've got another nice harvest there. Okay, so nice few jobs done today. Planting out celerac, doing a bit of weeding, checking a few crops. So I'll catch up with you again soon. Like I say, we're in July now, so there isn't much more planting to do, or the planting is getting less. Still some to do, but In fact, I think the next video will probably be planting out some of the brassica plants that we've got started at home. But then there won't be much more planting then till probably a couple of months' time. Okay, but I'll say bye for now and see you again soon. Bye.